Okay, so you hear, let me tell you something. You are losing $10,000 a month minimum because you sound like a customer service rep on camera instead of sounding like the authority that you really are. So as I said, here's something that nobody in the coaching space right now is doing or talking about because they don't actually know how to do it themselves. I know what these people be telling you, but the reason your content isn't converting has very little to do with the hooks or your editing or the captions or the algorithm. Yes, it has a little bit to do, but let me tell you something. It has almost everything to do with the way you sound when you open your mouth. That is a skill set, okay? We're about to dive super deep into that, so make sure you get ready. We about to get in nuts and bolts right now, right? So take your notes out and we're gonna take some notes. Write it down because when you write things down, it sticks in your mind more, right? Research on human communication shows that 93% of your message impacts comes from a non-verbal standpoint. Specifically, 38% is vocal tone and pacing, and 55% is body language. Only 7% is actually the words that you are saying. Think about what that means for your business. You are spending hours writing the perfect script. Oh, this gonna hit. It's never gonna hit if you don't say it right. You are, for an example, you agonizing over the exact phrasing of your hook. You know what the gurus be saying, use this 3-second hook. Listen, if you don't say it right, it don't matter what your hook is. If you are trying to, you out here trying to figure out the perfect call to action. But if your delivery in those words with hesitation, if your voice goes off at the end of the sentence, like you're asking a question instead of making a statement, you are subconsciously telling the audience not to believe you. Trust me. This is why you scroll past people's stuff all the time. You can tell, oh, he's salesy. Oh, they look like a scammer. Oh, he just want my money. No. What you say and how you say it matters, okay? Never forget that. Because the truth is this, you can have the cure for their exact problem, but if you deliver it like you're apologizing for taking their time, they will never scroll to you every time. They're gonna scroll past you and buy from the person with half your knowledge, but twice your conviction. Listen, I'm an entrepreneur even before the digital space. But in this world, I study it. I've watched coaches with incredible knowledge and real client results post for 2 years and get absolutely nothing. They fall into that 1% and talking to 1,000 people but getting 1%, or talking to 100 people and only getting 1%, right? They get absolutely nothing, crickets. And guess what? I've seen the contrary. I watch beginners with half their expertise blow up in 3 to 6 months because they figured out the pipeline. Yeah, I'm talking about me. And let me tell you what I noticed. The difference every single time is the delivery. Every single time. Delivery is the conviction in your voice. It's the pacing in how you speak. It's the certainty, not guesswork, but the certainty behind what you are saying, okay? What you're saying matters. How you say it matters even more, right? It's the exact mechanism that makes a stranger watching you for the first time, right? Is a stranger watching you for the first time deciding if you are someone worth listening to. It's the truth. It's happening. The first time they deciding if they're gonna listen to you or not, or they just gonna ignore you like they ignore everybody else. So take it from me. When you kill that customer service voice, right, and start speaking from your chest, if you will, say it with your chest, right? You stop asking for permission to be heard. You command the room. It's a difference. For an example, you might not have liked I said, say it with your chest. You might not be my customer, and that's okay. But my customers are gonna hear me. That's the thing. You have to make your customers hear you. You command the room. You need to stop sounding like every other coach, reading from a teleprompter, and start sounding like the only logical solution for their problem. That is the key. You have to be the logical solution for their problem. People really struggle with how to deliver what they're saying. Information is not an issue at no point. I can go to Grok, I can go to Claude, I can go to ChatGPT and get all the information in the world, but they'll never be able to teach me delivery. Most people think delivery is a personality trait. No, that's wrong. They think that, either you have it or you don't have it. That's not true either. They think because you're naturally introverted or quiet that you can't command attention on camera. That can't be the furthest thing from the truth. I know soft-spoken men and soft-spoken women that speak with absolute authority. They don't speak loud, but when you hear them talk, you're gonna listen because they have conviction behind what they're saying. And I see people with a big personality like me, right, speak with conviction and they really know what they're doing and they deliver it properly, and their people listen to them as well. So if you ever thought you just gotta have it or you don't have it, understand that is a lie. Delivery is a skill. It is a muscle that you train. My question for you is $10,000 a month worth you training that muscle? Is $70,000 a month worth you training that muscle? I'd say yeah. So with that being said, let's break this mechanism down to vocal delivery, okay? We're about to go into vocal delivery and it's about to get heavy. So when you speak on camera, you are not having a conversation with your friend at the coffee shop, right? No, we're not doing that. You are broadcasting a message to thousands of people around the world. The energy required to translate through a lens and a screen is significantly higher than the energy required in person. Why? If you speak at your normal conversation volume when you sound flat or uninspired in the video, if you speak like that, hi guys, yeah, this is how you do this, this is the conversion mechanism, that's not gonna work. You have to project who you are. No matter which version of you that you're gonna deliver, you have to project that version. You have to speak with your diaphragm, not your throat. Diaphragm. True. When you speak from your chest, your voice carries weight, it carries authority, and it tells the listener you believe what you are saying. Some people don't even believe what they're saying, and the real ones recognize it. The people that are going to invest, they recognize when you just saying it to say it. You know what I'm saying? And the next highly valuable trait when it comes to your vocal delivery is the pacing. Let me explain something to you. The biggest mistake people make when they get nervous on camera, right, is that they speed up. They rush through what they're trying to explain to their people. No, you never ever want to rush anything. Rushing communicates anxiety. Write that down. If you talking fast, the people are gonna be like, right? Rushing communicates anxiety, right? It communicates a lack of confidence when you start rushing, right? Authority is unhurried. It's unhurried. You know, right? When you know what you are talking about, you take your time. You let the punchline breathe. You see that? You see how I let you feel that? Because I know what I'm doing. Because I've trained this muscle. You use silence as a tool. You see that? No, seriously. A well-placed pause after a powerful statement does more to build trust than 1,000 words of explanation. That's true. Take advantage of your advantage. Silence, you like, take advantage of your advantage. Or I can say, take advantage of your advantage. You're not even gonna hear the authority in what I just said, right? Take advantage of your advantage. That's key. Warren Buffett said, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That pause right there allows the people to listen, to feel it, to embrace what you're saying. Okay, so let's talk about how delivery directly impacts your conversion rate, okay? I'm gonna say it again. We are about to talk about how delivery impacts your conversion rate, meaning when the people come to you, who stays, who pays, who invests, okay? Okay, so data shows that video content can increase conversion rates by 80% when placed on a landing page, But that only works if the video builds trust first. And trust is not built by information you share. It is built by the way you share it. This is real data. And I said 80%. So that means if you put out 100 pieces of content, if you deliver properly, at least 80 pieces of that content is going to really contribute to your conversion. Whoo, that's a man. But it only works if your video builds trust. Remember this, and always remember this. Trust is not built by the information you share. It is built by the way you share it, right? When a prospect watches your video, right, they're not just like evaluating your little framework. No, they are evaluating you. They are asking themselves, can this person actually lead me from where I am to where I want to be? All of that comes from your delivery, right? If your delivery is weak and your information is strong, you lower your chances. I'm gonna say it again. If your delivery is weak, the answer is no. If you sound unsure about your own offer, why would they be sure enough to hand you their credit card? They not about to hand you your Amex and you sounding all nervous about what you saying and with no conviction. No. They're not gonna do it. I know I wouldn't. Would you? No, you wouldn't. But remember this, when your delivery shifts, your conversion rate shifts as well. If your follower count stays exactly the same, the people who are watching you start buying because they finally believe you. Your follower count don't have to go up. Your followers just have to believe what you're saying. And what happens from that is you stop being a content creator and you start being a leader. It's two different things. There's a lot of people that know how to create content, but you don't believe in enough to pay them. That's just a fact. The good news is this, as it pertains to delivery. Delivery is a skill, and it can be fixed and it can be learned. And guess what? And it can be fixed and learned very quickly. So for an example, I use a specific drill with my clients on camera, and it really fixes their delivery in under 1 week, 7 days. So that means you could have been doing it wrong for 10 months, and then the drill that I teach you in 1 week, it'll be fixed, guaranteed. So let's talk about what it entails. It involves recording yourself, speaking to your core offer, your core clients, right? But instead of focusing on the words, you're gonna entirely focus on the volume, the pacing, the pauses, right? You're gonna strip away any script type talking, and you're gonna speak and practice with conviction. Keyword practice, heavy on the practice, because you have to get comfortable hearing your own voice at a volume that make you feel like that is unnatural at first, but it's not. You're gonna have to get comfortable sitting in silence after you make a strong point. You see that? After you make a strong point, you have to train your body to hold the space. When you master this, everything's gonna change. Your content is just not gonna be content no more. It's gonna be a signal. You're gonna cut through all of this saturated market that you feel that you're experiencing, right? Because your true authority is gonna become rare, and the people are gonna recognize it the second that they see it. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking to you about this, because when that conviction and that practice, right? If we wanna make $2 million next year, is it gonna be with the skill set that we have right now, or are we gonna have to improve? We're gonna improve. Is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. The real work is building a personal brand that attracts the right attention, creating the right content that goes viral consistently, and of course, by launching a digital offer that generates income that you can actually predict, not hope for, but predict. None of it is going to happen without the right delivery. None of it. The delivery is everything. Now, that was an intense training. Shout out to you. Listen, if you are ready to stop figuring this thing out alone, what I want you to do, AI can't teach you this, only a human can teach you delivery, because it's personal. That's what makes the digital online space and the personal branding even more valuable, because AI is making personal relationships and personal one-on-one interactions very valuable. So If you're ready to stop doing this alone and learning delivery and all of the systems that I'm teaching here on YouTube, all you gotta do is tap the link, get on the phone with my team, and we're gonna take 2026 and we're gonna go to the moon, baby. Let's work.